right, Kate, thanks for joining me.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Excited to do your senior send-off. I think we're actually, I guess, in your hometown right here in Golden.
Yeah, it was like a 5-minute drive.
That's not too bad. So let's start things off. Where do you go to school?
I go to Golden High School right now.
Excellent, excellent. When did you start running?
I technically started in like 4th grade for like Girls on the Run because some of my friends were doing it, and that kind of is what got me started.
Spurred you into running.
Yes.
With Girls on the Run. And I think when I'm trying to think back when I first met you, I'm trying to decide, did we meet?
I think it might have been actually 6th grade because I think I knew you when you like coached my middle school in 7th grade.
Yeah.
So I think it might have been like.
I thought that was it.
It might be 6th grade.
I think it was
actually.
you and Kylie and like, I'm trying to think back to all the kids that were like.
Harmony was there.
Harmony was there. I'm trying to think back to, brother and sister that both went to Golden. I can't think of it. Drew Warner and Maddie Warner.
Yes.
So like just trying to think of like, that was like the whole group back then. Like, I think you were like one of the original like 6 or 7 people that were a part of Peak.
Crazy. I remember I felt like I was like the only new person like for so long, and now I'm like, I feel like I've been here the longest now. I feel like I was here before Bryce even.
I'll have to look back at photos. I think you've been here for a long time because it was you and Mason, and I think even before the twins. So you've had, or maybe right around the twins.
Yeah, I think I remember like my first practice, Maddie Warner, Harmony.
Yep.
I feel like Jaden and Rachel. Like,
yep.
What's his name? Brad.
Brad. Yep, he was there.
I remember Brad. Yeah, Sonia.
Yep, Sonia. Yeah. And then the twins, and then it just kind of snowballed from there. Like, that's what's been crazy is now we're a team. I think our high school group is like 60 kids now-ish. And then you started when we were like 6 kids. So you've seen this team really grow.
Yes. Yeah.
So absolutely. So let's think back to those early days. What is your earliest memory as a runner? It doesn't have to be Peak or anything like that, but
like I feel like my like better memory of running, like my first like happy memory was I did 10Ks a lot.
Okay.
And like Golden Gallop was like my thing, and like in my age group there were only like 5 girls in my like age group for the Golden Gallop 10K. And I remember like getting like second in my age group to like Harmony, and then like in 8th grade I got first because she was in like high school. So like I just thought that was really cool.
Yeah.
I've been like, oh my god, I'm so fast, even though there was like 5 girls in my age group, but still.
Hey.
It got me going, so.
Absolutely. Yeah, I remember watching you do 10Ks, 5Ks. We did a lot of those things, you know. We did a lot of local runs. I love that. And now we've got more opportunities than ever to run.
Yeah.
Love it. I love it. And I love watching you in high school. It's been cool to watch you through all the years. You've been doing a lot of relays lately.
Yeah.
Having fun with those.
Almost dropped the baton the one time you watched.
Yeah.
That was great.
You didn't, but you didn't.
Yeah.
So let's think here is, this is actually what I'm excited to learn about, is because I actually get to learn a lot about you guys doing these, is what or who got you into running?
Like I said, like Girls on the Run, I guess, kind of got me going. And then like middle school, like some of my friends were doing cross country. So I was like, I guess I'll do it. And then I remember like just beating some girls I wasn't expecting to beat, and it like boosted my confidence. And I was like, I actually really like this. I don't know. So that just kind of... And, like, I started doing, like, 5Ks and 10Ks. I'd get, like, competitive with, like, my friends, which just kind of how it is. And I was, like, beating them, so it made me happy. And I was like, I want to keep doing this. So
I think that is at first it's always, like, I just want to, the people who you're beating are the people that you're racing. And, like, it's this kind of small little thing, right? And then it always grows. Like, middle school, it's like, oh, I'm competing against these kids. And then high school, it's like, it explodes.
Oh.
Nerves? Did you learn a lot about nerves in high school?
Yes, like competing for like the top 7 spot and like all year has just always been like a huge like race anxiety thing for me. Like I would always just fight to be on varsity like every meet. Like that's what got me going. So
I'm excited to actually dig in on that because we will get there. I'm going to ask the tough question first, or maybe it's the easy question: is what do you love most about running?
Yeah, I actually looked at that question, and I was thinking it's like I like just being in really good shape and just like crushing my workouts, even if they're like painful, but I'm just like hitting like the numbers and reps I'm supposed to, and just like feeling like awful, obviously, but like also like just strong and like good. I just really like that feeling of like accomplishment of just like running well. I guess. I don't know. And just like being around people like running, like people I like, and just yeah, it's just a really fun, like, it's not a team sport, but it is really, like, that's what, I don't like running by myself at all. Like,
Yeah.
I can't do
It's
it.
hard.
Yeah. So
It's hard
that's
to run
what
by
gets me
ourselves.
going, is like running with my team. And yeah.
And this could expand beyond the last 4 years, but what has been the hardest part about running, maybe in high school or even?
Definitely race anxiety. Like, you know me, I like throw up when I run, and I think it's all mental, honestly. I think I just get really nervous before my races. It was really bad when I started with, like, you guys on, like, the club races, because those just felt so legit. I remember just being, I don't know why I was so nervous for those races. It's so weird to think about. But, yeah, I was so nervous for those, and then, like, high school freshman year, I was ridiculously nervous for my races. Like, I remember we didn't make it to state by, like, 4 points, and I was, like, low-key, like, relieved, which is really bad, because I was, like, state just sounds terrifying, and now, like, but now it's, like, my senior year, and if I didn't make it to state, I'd probably, like, cry, so that's progress. So, and, like, yeah, it's also just, like, getting out of shape and, like, getting back in shape, which happens between, like, every track and cross-country and track season, like, between, like, December and, like, February. You see that every year. I'm just, like, struggling to go to practices because I'm kind of, like, burnt out from cross country.
It's a long season.
It's cold, and I'm like,
It's hard, and I think a lot of people in Colorado, I don't think it's not a Kate thing.
Yeah.
There's also this, like, I want to go skiing.
Yeah.
There are a lot of other things that are very
Cold
Colorado
outside.
things. It's cold. It is not a fun time to try and train. It's hard. It's hard. Mm-hmm. What do you feel like has helped you manage that pre-race anxiety? And you don't have to be, no one's going to be perfect at those things now, but what do you feel like has helped you?
It really depends. Like, sometimes it's hard to get over, but it's just really just staying positive and just being like, okay, my stomach hurts or something like that, or like I feel this pain here in my leg, like I can't control that. Just got to go into my race and like suck it up. And most of the times, like if I do have like a pain in like somewhere, like my legs, like it doesn't end up affecting me in my race. I'm just like, don't be dramatic. Just go into your race. Like it's out of your control. And then like if I like throw up, I have to deal with it, and I do. And I've just learned to just really get like a positive mindset when I race, and that has really helped me throughout the years. I finally got it. Like I feel like senior year state, I had like a really good mindset racing. Good. And it was actually fun racing for once. So
yeah, I think there's a lot of pressure that we have to work through in high school, right? Like there's the pressure of your expectation of yourself, the expectation that you might think that your team has for you, right? And that becomes like even that pressure that you think that other people have for you, it may not be real. Yeah. But we apply it to ourselves, right? And that can make it really difficult to then say, what do I want out of today? Right? Like, and you're like, oh, if I don't do X, I'm a failure, right? We don't have this like, oh, I was 3 seconds away from my PR. You might as well have been 3 minutes from your PR, right? Like, it can be really hard to see that progress. Yeah.
There's just like, even if I run like a PR, I'm still like beating myself up after races. I'm like, well, I could have done this, and this. I'm like, okay, just enjoy the race you had,
And it's hard. That's a hard thing. It's a hard mindset to get into. Yeah. No doubt. Let's see here. So think back to your younger self, and maybe this is some great, reflection is, what's the message you wish you could share with a younger version of yourself?
Like running wise?
Could be running. It could be anything. Honestly, like it could be, hey, don't worry so much about, the outcome of a race, or it could be about school. It could be really anything. So I guess what's the message you wish you could share?
I would say like, once again, just like calm down before races. Like don't be so stressed out, and just honestly, like just working on that positive mindset in races, like just continuously like having like messages in your head, and like eventually you'll believe it. And like it took me the longest time to like get there, and I still don't have it in my races sometimes. And I just think if I had that sooner, like races would be so much more enjoyable.
Absolutely. So, yeah. Absolutely. Well, I want to talk about Peak a little bit because you've been here for a long time. Yeah. Over the years, what would you say to someone about your experience here at Peak? Because somehow, Kate, you keep showing up.
I know. Yeah. Well, I just think it's awesome. Like it's a great way to just stay fit, even if you're like not a runner. I love how we can do strength training now, and like we have access to like trail running, which I love trail running. I don't really do that with my high school ever, because like don't you have to have like a permit or something to?
I mean, technically, Jeffco, if you're watching, we should have a permit, but the reality is that we tend to run in groups that are less than 10, so we're usually pretty okay, and we try to be really courteous as much as we can. But I mean, the trail running is, I think, one of the things I love about our group is we can kind of go wherever.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I just love running in Golden with you guys, and then just being surrounded just by like really good athletes. Like thinking back to like when I first started, I felt like I was one of like the slower people, and that was like what really it like made me better, I think. And then when I got to my high school team, I was like, I'm not making varsity like compared to these people. And then I was like, oh, I'm on varsity because I'm just used to running with these like really fast people, and it's just cool to be surrounded by that. And now it's grown to a point where there's like a whole variety of like different runners, and like not even runners. Like I see people at strength training who like doesn't even like run, I guess. Yeah. And then like I see girls at meets all the time from practice at Peak, and I like talk to them, and it's great. It's just like a great like connection, and like and it's just fun running with you guys. So. Yeah.
I think it's always been kind of cool. I think the meets in season after you've had your club season is great, because I look at most of the clubs in the area here are usually associated with a school. Yeah. Right? Like Real Training is a lot of kids from Niwot. Now, granted, they've got their little satellite things all around the state, but the reality is when we get to show up to a meet, you have a much closer bond with people from like maybe like Ellison, who just left. She goes to East High School. Yeah. You've got kids that come, from like Chatfield or Golden or Lakewood. Then you go to a meet, and each meet you might get to see somebody that you haven't seen at a previous meet. And it's just I don't know, it's kind of a fun culture of people to be around. Yeah. I think.
It's cool because like, remember like Jaden?
Yeah.
Miller, right?
Yep.
I used to like run with her a lot in like middle school, and then this year like we started running together in races and like pacing each other in like cross country races. So I thought that was cool. I was like, oh wow,
you guys know each other. You got That's really cool.
Yeah. So
I love that. We're getting close to the end here.
Yeah.
So let's see. We talked about the message to your younger self, your experience here at Peak. Any big memories to share about your experience, either here at Peak or just as running in general? Do you have a favorite memory, anything that's like clicks in your brain, you're like, or maybe even something that you'll miss, as you head off to bigger and brighter things next year?
Let me think. So when it comes to Peak, I remember 8th grade, I went to El Paso. Yeah. And I thought that was really cool, like going out of state and racing. And I think I ran like a good time at that meet or something. I like PR'd. Yeah. Like that was awesome. I really liked that. And then like in high school, I would say like sophomore year, we made it to state. We got 2nd place. And the course was short. At the time, I didn't think it was. And I got sub 20. And like everyone who qualified for state, top 7, all got sub 20.
Nice.
And we thought we were gonna barely get 4th, and we got 2nd. And we made it to state, and that was like probably like one of my funnest, like best moments in cross country, I'd say. So, yeah.
I love that. Anything you're gonna miss from running? As you go on to the next level, as you head off to college.
Yeah, it was really hard for me to like decide between like going D3 and like running with like an actual team, or like just moving on and like I can still do club, but it's like I don't think it's like the same like as like having like actual meets set up. You know? Like so that'll be hard. Like it'll be hard to say goodbye to that. Just having like that team by me all the time, because like club running, I feel like I'd just be like, I don't know, still kind of distant from it. So it'll be sad. I'm gonna miss it a lot, just like the team aspect and just being in shape constantly. So
you find a way. You find something you love. I mean, that's the next level, is being able to go find those things, right?
Yep.
Absolutely. So we get to talk about the next thing. It's been pretty obvious if you've taken any of the cues from the kids. Where are you headed this fall?
University of Oregon. So.
Yeah. Go Ducks.
Yeah.
I love Eugene. We were just, before we started this, we had a good talk about Eugene, how it is the green version of Colorado, I think.
Yes.
Feels like it, at least. What are you going to be studying there?
Cinema studies, actually.
Cinema studies. I love it. That's going to be super exciting. We're going to have Director Kate here soon.
Yeah. Yep.
There we go. Well, Kate, I really appreciate you taking the time to sit down with me today.
Yep, of course.
Thank you.